Happy Friday. It is Friday, and I am about to rein in the weekend with some funny friends of mine. I'm not going to do it by looking at stock market prices or by understanding different types of political philosophies or books. No, sir. I am going to comb over the week's best underserved funny headlines with two very funny friends of mine, Misters Andrew Young and Nick Sperdute. Welcome back to the program, gentlemen.
I got to ask, where was all this energy when we first got on the call? I just feel like that's a little bullshit. Like you didn't really get into it until we started the show. Like, what the hell's that?
You have both given me nothing but crap since we logged on. I went, hey guys, good to see you. Can I start recording? And you're like, what? Like no foreplay? And I'm like, no.
Ian, what else are you supposed to give a commode other than crap?
That's okay. All right. We're doing a slightly more antagonistic. That's fine. I'm a little bit bothered that the two of you are ganging up on me. Previously, I've been able to play you off against each other, but that's okay. I can take it. That's okay.
Can you take it? Because you're talking about it a lot, and it sure seems like you can't take it.
Nick, how are you doing?
This, now that I hear it, pretty okay.
Now that we're on camera, I'm going to pretend to care about you. So
okay,
I'm curious as to how your life's going.
Just okay. Thanks. Let's get real personal, real quick.
Okay, good. And Young, you're also doing
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, great, good. Hope you all had a good week, even though we're pre-recording it on Tuesday because it's all fake. Hollywood is a lie. It's all fake. But I do have a decent headline for us. You ready?
Yeah, let's talk about this news stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Oklahoma lawmaker proposes Bigfoot hunting season. This was sent to me by a lot of different listeners. We do have a Discord channel, excuse me, and we have a Friday Release Valve channel within Discord. And so people have been adding headlines to that, which is very helpful and appreciate that. A bunch of people rightly inferred that this story was all kinds of me. So big thanks to One True Mango on Patreon, to Woody, to Ethan, and several people emailed me as well. And I forget your names off the top of my head. I'm sorry, but I appreciate it. Oklahoma lawmaker proposes Bigfoot hunting season. This is from Justin Humphrey from Hanokia, who introduced a bill to the Oklahoma State Legislature earlier this month that would allow hunting season to be regulated by the Oklahoma Wildlife Conservation Commission to include dates specifically for hunting Bigfoot. Now, I did look into this. He doesn't want to kill Bigfoot. He wants to capture Bigfoot. So it's not that you'd be allowed to murder Bigfoot during these times. Rather, you're allowed to capture Bigfoot during these times. And he's hoping to secure $25,000 that could be used as a bounty so that the county or...
seems like a lot of that meat's going to go to waste. We don't kill it. Just saying.
No. You capture it, and then you either make it join the circus or you give it a professorship.
Oh, no, I get it. Or you feed it and you make sure it gets real nice and big and fat, and then you eat it. That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, I'm in it
exactly. Now. I'm in. Nick, hold on. Is your understanding of how bounty hunters work that bounty hunters track down escaped felons and then eat them?
That's my understanding.
That's all. I mean, have you ever watched Dog the Bounty Hunter?
I have not. Is that what happens?
No, but it would have made a much more interesting program. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm enthralled with this for multiple reasons. First of all, it really kind of sounds to me like maybe Justin Humphrey's wife slept with Bigfoot and he's just really angry. Like this seems like a very passive aggressive way to get back at our bipedal cousin. How
would you investigate that? How would you know? Would it just be your wife come back and there's just hair everywhere?
Yeah, I think so. No, I think what you would do is you'd come home and you're like, that's weird. My wife's taking a shower, but I know that she already took a shower earlier today and she seems very emotionally distant and we've been kind of fighting lately and now she's distant but very nice to me, almost like she's covering something up. There's an odd musk in the air. And I'm just going to go outside and look for clues here. Bigfoot tracks. Lots of Bigfoot tracks. That would be the tip.
That's odd. My slippers sure are stretched out a lot more than they were last time I wore them.
My strippers.
Looks like there must have been some big feet in here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And your wife gets aroused whenever you watch Harry and the Hendersons. Like it's really amorous.
I do like the idea of Bigfoot coming in, sleeping with this representative's wife, putting on his pajamas, putting on his slippers, and then just lounging in the bed with a cigarette after.
Yeah, I think
he walks in and she's like, it's not what it looks like. You said you'd be home on Thursday. What are you doing here?
I do feel like he needs to change the language if he actually wants to trap the creature. I know that like hunt can just means just look for, but people in Oklahoma are going to respond with guns and they're going to shoot Bigfoot because there's not a lot of like trappers in Oklahoma. It's not like known for being a trap county,
right?
Or trap state.
It's also a bit positive thinking that somebody would like, oh my God, Bigfoot, and here I am with my rifle. But I'm first going to call the Oklahoma Conservative Commission to make sure that it is in fact legal for me to kill this beautiful creature.
Can I say that this line in here that he says is, I couldn't get past it when I kept reading through this. And it's a quote from Humphrey. And he says, tourism is one of the biggest attractions we have in my house district, which is like saying the tourists themselves are the attraction. He's saying tourism is one of the biggest attractions.
Oh, right. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Attraction is like tourism is what you want.
Right.
It's like going to Times Square to watch the people that are going to Times Square.
I think no, I don't think that's right.
I do. I do think that's right. I read it several times to make sure, and I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Well, it does indicate that his eye is on the prize to bring in more tourists to Oklahoma in search of, like, there's an annual Bigfoot festival in Hoboken. I've nearly gone down to that a couple of times, which incidentally, you all know I wrote a novel about Bigfoot hunting in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I read like 4 versions of it.
Thanks for that, Young. Yep.
I read at least a chapter.
They were good.
Yeah, I remember Young bought it. It's called Happier as Werewolves. Also, they're werewolves. There's werewolves and Bigfoot. It's a comedy. Happier as Werewolves by Andrew Heaton. I think this is a great example of what I want state legislatures to work on, because they can do a lot of damage. And I think if they're just going to, see, Nick's got an original copy. I
like that Friday Release Valve has become a pitch campaign for Heaton's book and his Discord channel and anything else he wants to toss in.
Exactly.
I support that. We should capitalize on the news, just like every single news company that exists.
Right. All true. All true. Yeah. It's called vertical integration. And so when I was in, when I worked for Congress, I had friends in a bunch of different offices. And one of the things that I would do, which might have been a felony in retrospect, was on my lunch break, I would prank call other offices. And one of the things I would do all the time to this one friend of mine that was a staff assistant for a representative from Nevada is I would call her, and not revealing myself, I would strongly indicate that I'd shot Bigfoot. And then I would ask her to find out if I was going to go to prison if I revealed that I'd shot Bigfoot. Not saying I shot Bigfoot, but if I shot Bigfoot and I buried him in Reno County, can I excavate the corpse and show it to scientists, or will I go to jail for some endangered species nonsense? It would it was fun. It was a fun prank.
Are you going to just try to take credit for all the stories we're going to talk about? Is that what's happening
Nick.
Here on Friday Release Valve now?
I'll
is that our new thing?
I mean, if you want, I can turn myself back down to a 6 if that's what you want. Sure. No problem.
You mean
Here
like when we first started to talk?
All right. So
Wait a second. Hold on. Before you move on, I have a question about the Bigfoot Festival. Yeah. If they catch Bigfoot, will they parade him around the festival in a giant cage, poking him with sticks?
Almost certainly. Yeah.
Yes, but we will also make him governor. So it'll be a kind of very embarrassing and horrifying thing for Bigfoot, followed by him becoming our head of state.
I don't know who the current governor is right now, but I just assume that that's an upgrade.
It's, I mean, honestly, if right now, Young, if any state of the union called you and went, hey, we're, I don't know, Washington State, Massachusetts, Texas, pick any random state, went, we've captured Bigfoot. We're thinking about making him governor. Do you want him? I would say yes in literally every instance, just for how funny that would be and how awesome the news would be in that state for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're right. I would go to Oklahoma to see or capture and kill Bigfoot.
Yeah, you're not slowing me down. If I'm in the hunt, I'm in it for the blood. I'm telling you that right now.
Yep. Whenever Nick and I go to parks, he yells "first blood" a lot, and we'll lay out squirrel traps and things. Our next story comes to us from Scotland. Eric72 sent in, dog gets the title of official stamp licker. This stems from the Isle of Skye and the capital of the Isle of Skye, Portree, where the local male person that runs the post office started bringing his dog into work, and the dog would be thrilled to see people. When they'd come in, the dog would lick them. Guy that owns the dog trained the dog to lick stamps. They now have an official dog licker employed by the post office. However, apparently he has kind of a low success rate because he also eats a lot of the stamps. So if you decide that you want to have the official stamp licker lick your stamp, there's like a 25% chance that he'll just eat it, and you're going to have to get more stamps.
I will say that you first said you did misspeak, and you said an official dog licker, which sounds like a job for someone that just has to lick all the dogs when they come in, which
You're right.
is weird.
I should have said it has an official stamp licker who is a dog. Thank you. That is correct. I
prefer being able to walk into a post office and lick a dog.
Same.
That's why we can't go into post offices anymore. You keep
wait. Hold on. So Heaton, they say that the dog eats. This is a ploy. This postmaster has brought his dog in, convinced people to give the dog stamps so that he can sell more stamps to inflate his numbers. That's all this is. They should kill the dog.
I will say, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the dog doesn't make it. There's no way that eating stamps and licking them is healthy.
Oh yeah. Didn't a bunch of stamps kill George's wife, Susan, and Seinfeld?
That was
right.
envelopes.
I remember that documentary.
Glue on the envelopes. But yeah. Documentary.
Well, see, maybe this is a double way to make money, Young, because on the one hand, you're like, hey, children, shall we go to the post office to feed stamps to that dog? And it's like they're buying food for ducks, except they're buying stamps, right? So they're already doing that. They're like, oh, I want to feed stamps to the dog, mommy. So they do that. And then like closing time, 5:00, they shut the thing. And the guy just like squeezes the dog like an accordion, and it like spits out a bunch of stamps. And he's like, free stamps. So he got double paid. It's the smartest gig in the world.
Or even worse, he's waiting for it to pass through the dog, and then he's recollecting the stamps on the other side.
I really like.
No, more mail from Portree. I hate Portree. It always smells horrid.
I like that it says he's great to have around because he becomes the focal point. In Britain, everyone tends to talk about the weather, but in the office, people want to talk about Jax. So I like the idea that he's just so bored about people talking about the weather, and he's like, "No, can we just talk about my dog? Like, I have a dog here now. Like, they're so bored in England. They need anything they can do."
I mean, I get why on the Isle of Skye you would be bored about talking about the weather. It's always bad.
Yeah, oh, what a great day on this island in the Inner Hebrides on the west coast of Scotland. It's so sunny and balmy. Yeah.
I love walking through air that is essentially ice.
Yeah, well, and like Scotland's also one of those countries where they've got like 15 different words for rain because they have so many. Like there's dreek, and we've got like drizzle and rain, and like it's pouring down rain. We've got like 3 modes, right?
Sprinkling.
They've sprinkling. Thanks, Nick.
Misting.
They've also yes. My bad. We're all the same.
A light patter.
A light. Okay.
People say that all the time.
All right. Yes, but they also have Scottish words for it, and they have this weird thing where it'll be like sunny out and raining. Have you seen this before?
Yes.
It's like there's a glitch in the Matrix, but it happens over there all the time.
That's my favorite kind because then you get fun rainbows, and it looks like you're in some sort of commercial for Ireland.
I hate them. I squint and I get wet. So I'm like, no, it's the worst of both worlds. Like,
it's not only a Creedence Clearwater Revival song, but it's also what people have, it was called I believe this isn't my term, but the term was the devil's beating his wife, is what you call a sunny day when it's raining.
I've also heard it called a monkey's wedding.
Oh, okay. I don't understand either of those.
And I don't think we have a term for it in Oklahoma.
What kind of weather is it if it's a Bigfoot wedding?
I think a thunderstorm, right? A thunderstorm when it's hot outside.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay. This next headline comes from care of Wilbert over in Brussels. We have a senior Brussels correspondent. That's Wilbert. Man lived inside Chicago O'Hare Airport for 3 months before detection, prosecutors say. A California man, police said, claimed to be too afraid to fly due to COVID-19, hid out for 3 months in a secured area of O'Hare International Airport until his weekend arrest. Aditya Singh, 36, is charged with felony criminal trespass to a restricted area of an airport and misdemeanor theft. So he's based out of L.A. He flew out of Chicago and just didn't leave Chicago, just went to Chicago O'Hare Airport. He apparently obtained like a lanyard that had some sort of airport security credential on it, and then just lived there like a squatter and would convince people to give him food, and did that for 3 months. And
First instinct, hire him.
Yeah.
Hire him to do this at all airports.
Wait, hire him to live at the airport?
No. Hire him to like sneak into airports and last as long as he can before detection to prove that there are weak links in the airport security that we take off all of our shoes and jackets for just to prove that we're safe.
Right. And I've got to take my laptop out of the bag because maybe I've got a laptop bomb. Meanwhile, this guy's living there for 3 months. Also, like, I would rather get like neon ultra COVID than live in Chicago O'Hare Airport for more than 24 hours. I hate Chicago O'Hare Airport. I if I were king, I would rename it Chicago O'Hare Airport in quotation marks. I think it's such a horrible facility.
I gotta be honest. There's been people living in LaGuardia since it opened, so I don't think this is that big of a deal. I mean, there's just no way that that they even have bothered kicking people out of there ever. So
I think they live in LaGuardia, but they can migrate in and out through secret subway tunnels underground.
Right. They've got air vents and stuff. You know, there was for a while, Nick. I don't know if they're still there or not, but there was like a community of people living in abandoned subway tunnels in New York, which your eyes just got really big in a very I could save money on rent kind of way.
As in a hey, let's just not talk about it. Okay.
Oh, is that why we? Oh, okay. Yes. Never mind. No. Not a thing. Not a thing at all.
God, Fred's gonna kill me.
Wait. I'm gonna pull on this thread. Nicholas Sperdute, are you living in a subway tunnel that looks very much like an apartment in Brooklyn?
Okay. You know how easy it is to get paint. And
I do know about that feature of hardware stores. That
easy to get paint. Easy to get paint.
And Nick's doing well for himself. He buys buckets of paint every week. Every time I see Nick, he's buying more buckets of paint. I'm like, how are you? Pretty well. Just bought a red bucket.
Well, I work at a Home Depot, and so they give me the leftovers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the rule. That's the rule. Okay.
I got to say, I think this, I initially read this and thought, yeah, Andrew could do this. And then I also thought about the movie Terminal, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I thought,
it's fine. That movie is fine.
Yeah, it's a fine movie. I mean, Tom Hanks, maybe not his best film ever, but
it's fine.
It's a good film. He does a good job.
You know what? Like I'm friends with somebody who, one of her professors in college, his hobby is he loves checking out airports. So he'll go on vacation to visit the airport. That's why he's in town, is to walk around the airport. He likes the architecture of airports.
I mean, people do that at museums. What's the difference? You know?
I mean, like on the one hand, I think that guy's nuts. On the other hand, like traveling must be infinitely better for him because the worst part of traveling is the traveling. Like the arriving's great. Like once you're there and you get to walk around, it's the getting there that sucks.
But I will say I kind of get the appeal of looking at like the Charlotte airport is lovely. It's just like it's a fun little airport. They have rocking chairs in it and you can get really good barbecue.
Yeah.
I like Denver Airport. I think Denver Airport's really cool. It's got the kind
Denver's
of TV
nice.
structure. It's very clean.
The Cancun airport's really nice. It's got the really big, nice Guy Fieri's restaurant. It's really good.
Good. Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. If you had to pick a place with a Guy Fieri restaurant at an airport, it'd probably be Cancun. Zurich, I think it's either Zurich or Geneva. They've got like their airport's really calm. Like they intentionally lower the lighting to like half mast, and they don't have music. They certainly don't have 30 television screens blasting CNN that no one's watching.
What is Switzerland trying to prove?
Yeah.
Like with all this, ooh, look, we're really peaceful. Ooh, look, our airport's calm. What are you trying to prove? We get it. You're laid back and you don't go to war.
Yeah, and they tell you that when you get your passport stamped, they're like, by the way, we don't go to war. And you're like, yeah, I got the memo.
Well, that's the thing. If they don't go to war, of course they don't need to have the news on. Because no one needs to know the breaking news of war, which we're always expecting.
That's why I check the news. I turn on the BBC and the good morning. Today, 30% chance of rain and 28% chance of war.
Can you imagine,
I really wish they'd tell me where that is.
Can you imagine the German-speaking Anderson Cooper? All right, in today's news, it's just kind of nothing. So see you tomorrow.
Yeah. So we are here with our war minister, and we are just doing origami. And talking about what we're doing for this summer. There was. Do you remember how boring Switzerland was when we visited? We went to Geneva for a couple of days, right?
We went to a festival celebrating independence, and it was just like kids with like little small what did they like pins on their lapels?
Really,
and that was about it.
Really dinky. Like because we tried to fight. I'm very pro peace, but the one upside to war is you get way more interesting statues. Geneva it had like a giant chair to celebrate that they're the head of Red Cross, as I recall. Like it was
I guess you hate chairs. That's fine. Let's get into that a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Talk about how much you hate chairs, Andrew. I mean, come on now. I'm tired of people picking on. It's just nice places. Shall we move on?
Okay, fine. Sorry, Nick. Let's move on. Yes.
This is the most contentious Friday release valve I think we've ever done.
This is not a release valve. Everybody's tensed up while listening.
This is This is the Friday pressure cooker.
The Friday pressure cooker. Agreed.
Change the name.
So back in our country, America, Eric72 informs us Joe Biden has removed the Diet Coke button.
Oh yeah. From
the Oval Office Resolute desk. So this is not a full story. It's a tweet. This comes from Tom Newton Dunn. He tweeted, President Biden has removed the Diet Coke button when at Shippers Unbound, I'm not sure who that is, and I interviewed Donald Trump in 2019. We became fascinated by what the little red button on his desk did. Eventually, Trump pressed it, and a butler swiftly brought in a Diet Coke on a silver platter. It's gone now. Here's what I want to know. For having heard nothing but Trump stories and Trump news every day for the last 4 years, how did I never know there was a Diet Coke button on the president's desk? That is such a cool detail that I wish I'd known.
Let me just say, if there was a button like this, which I'm going to go ahead and assume there was, in anywhere else he lived before he became president, I guarantee it wasn't for a Diet Coke.
No, it was for some underage girl.
Yeah. Or just remove the diet.
It was whatever it was for.
So Nick was going to, so just be very clear. Nick's joke was that he probably drank fattier, sugary drinks.
No,
Young's joke was that he was like molesting cocaine. Children. Was that
this Young did go there? Yes.
Hold on. I don't think what I was saying was a joke. I think whatever button he had on his desk, whatever button he had on his desk was something to signal I want something no good.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It was definitely let's just say it was worse than just diet.
This just makes me hope that the actual launch the nuke buttons is not a red button on the desk, because that would be a really dumb way for our civilization to have been destroyed. Of like, kind of thirsty, kind of tired, bam, whoops, there goes China. My bad.
So wait, he has a.
I also like the idea of these two people, like reporters, just trying to like push him to be like, so what's that button do, man?
I don't know. Tell me what the button does. Listen, Mr. Trump, you know people are dying because of Bill 32.8. I'm so real quick. Can we talk about the button? What is the button?
The way they phrase it, though, it sounds like they didn't say anything. They were just because it says eventually Trump pressed it. So it sounds like at best they were like, well, Mr. President, this has been a great. Oh man, I'm thirsty. Great interview, but man, I'm thirsty. All right, well, I guess we'll get something on our way out.
Yeah, or one of them's just staring at the button the whole time. Like it's never like Trump's like, do you have any questions? Nope. Just stare that he punches it. And then apparently there's a Diet Coke butler.
Now here's a question. Do you think that Biden removed the button or that Trump took him with him and hoped that the butler would also come?
He's in Florida right now, just hitting it with a hammer. Damn it. Why isn't it working? How else do I get Diet Coke? If you were president, Nick, and you had a button on your desk, you're president, you've got a button on your desk and it does one thing. What happens when you hit that button?
War.
So wait, so you hit this
certainly.
Button. Meanwhile, over at the Pentagon, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs just gets like a pneumatic bank tube, like whoop, like the pneumatic bank tube pops out on his desk and it just says "war" in all caps, and he's like,
"Pick a country."
All right, who do we? I guess Belgium. We haven't done anything to them for a while. They won't be suspecting it. Yeah, Belgium. Okay, good. You'll have a war button. Young, how about you?
Mine would just be a button where I press and a butler comes out and slaps Sperdute.
Nice. I also like the idea that it's a button, and when I press it, a butler holding another button comes out. And then another butler comes out with another button. And it's happening all day, and I just have more buttons.
Yeah, or I would do the one where you press the button and I get $1 million, but someone somewhere dies.
I think I would have a balloon drop. I think I'd have like a massive New Year's Eve style balloon drop, which you could use either to celebrate, where it's like, hey, like I just, I'm so proud of you that you beat cancer and you fought that bear. You're a credit to your middle school. balloon drop. Like, how great would that be? Meanwhile, somebody
I also like the idea. It's an applause button, and you hit it, and then a wall opens up, and there's just a studio audience.
Oh man,
yeah, everything turns.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. Or but it would also work as like camouflage, because I'm assuming I would wear very brightly colored suits. So if I hit this, if somebody's giving me a hard time, and I'm very conflict averse for some reason as president of the United States, rather than saying get out of my office, I would hit the balloon drop, and then I would just kind of fade into the balloons. And then I'd sneak to another office no one knowed about. I'd have a secret. Or
you never have to hit it, because it might just be so like intimidating as a button that you just have it on the desk. And
oh wow!
You kind of have your hand like hovering over it, and you accidentally sit next to it, and
you call in your chief of staff, and you're like, "Hey, we've been having leaks." The phones dropped the other day. I want you to know my finger's 2 inches from this button, and I'm going to push it. You never everybody's terrified, but it's a balloon drop.
That makes me think. What if instead you had a trap door button, like an age old villain, where you just hit a button and then they fall, but they fall into balloons.
Also nice.
It's still technically a balloon drop.
All good.
There you go.
Very much in favor of all of this. All right. I think, was that it? I think that was the last. That was the last story. Did we do it? Man, time flies when you're bickering at me constantly rather than letting me do the things I wanted to do. Yeah.
Yeah. No, time does fly when you're hanging out with an outhouse.
That's the saying. All right. What do you got, Nick? Bring it on. You got 30 seconds left to shovel something on me.
I was going to say that I really appreciate you having us on, and thanks a lot.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
Shut up, Sperdute.
Nick, no, fuck you, Young.
Nick, it was a pleasure to have you.
Hey, actually, you know what?
And Sandbag Nick, Youngs, thanks for showing up.
Hold on, I want to say something meaningful. Hey, Nick, I really enjoyed doing this with you.
Thanks, buddy. You too.
And
all right, well, till next time.
Nope, that's it. Just trying to be nice about
Friday Release Bound. I'm Andrew Young.
I'm Nick Sperdute. That was Andrew Heaton. Thanks for having us.
Perfect.